term, a couple of months maybe, and we'd be back on our feet. That's a short-term thing, and we have a very thick book up here, the Emergency Operations Plan. We've got that put together, and it's FEMA-based. So we're good to go with that. But long-term, if the economy were to collapse, could we sustain ourselves? Well, that's what we're trying to put in place. An example would be, I don't know how many of my employees would walk. They're not going to be paid.
Right.
Nobody's going to be paid. Now I'm talking worst case scenario,
right.
so don't label me as a nut here.
No, I'm not.
But I want to be prepared for that. We need water, we need electricity, we need garbage collection, we need all these different things. So we're actively putting together an infrastructure that hopefully would work in the event something like that would occur.
I think that's great.
So it's long range, last ditch kind of. We still need a plan.
Right.
Hopefully we'll never have to engage it, but we're doing that. We're putting it together.
Yeah, my wife and I are doing something around. We're storing seeds, and we have water. We got a filtration system we can take on the go. You can filter water out of a mud puddle, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think you're wise to.
But I think community-wise, like what you're talking about, that's what we really need to start engaging in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if our sheriff is doing anything like that.
Sheriff Winters is. I think he thinks pretty much the same way I do. At least the conversations I've had with him, and I don't purport to speak for him.
Right.
But these are issues that we've lightly discussed, and I think he's of like mind. In fact, what my recommendation would be is the Southern Oregon counties get together and form some kind of a strategy to deal with those kind of issues.
I agree with you.
So,
I agree with you.
But there's a group that's working on that issue.
Okay. Well, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So we're looking at all the different aspects and make sure that we've got some kind of a plan in place.
Well, I'd like to get some information if there's any way that we can help out.
Okay.
Then
make sure I got your card and.
I don't know if I have a card, but I can definitely write down some stuff.
We one of the groups that I'm talking with are making an effort to talk with Jackson County right now. Okay. I don't know if they've made that contact yet or not, but we've had the conversation, and like I say, I put together basically an organizational chart like this that will take us into a scenario like that.
So that's really reassuring to hear that. Especially because my wife and I, we're just like, we want to get like our neighbors and stuff involved, and
well,
everybody.
basically, if you have a neighborhood watch, it's a good way to develop that help each other kind of a concept.
Right.
And if each neighborhood does that, overall, you're going to take care of your community.
I don't even know if ours does. We're just kind of taking the, we're just putting forth the effort to start doing things instead of, because we've been talking about things, and now it's like, what, we can't be talking about this anymore. We have to start, actually doing it.
And if it wasn't for people like you that have come to me, I probably wouldn't have initiated the actions towards setting this up. And my point is, I'm getting so much from so many that they're concerned about this that I think a plan needs to be put in place, and that's why we're doing it.
Yeah, are you familiar with what happened in Iceland lately?
No.
They had the IMF had come in and tried to say that the Icelandic people owed them money, and the Icelandic people voted that they didn't owe the IMF any money, and then the IMF kind of closed off things so they couldn't get any food in.
Amazing how
everything
banks control everything, huh?
Yeah, and but they ended up kicking out the international bankers out of their country, and that was like, I know. Can you believe that? Could you imagine that?
I think that's good.
I think it's good too.
I think the Federal it's just my personal belief. I think the Federal Reserve System was a big mistake. It was underhandedly, brought into.
There wasn't even enough people there.
In 1913, with 3 or 5 people. That was just a small.
It was on Christmas Day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what constant? They don't fit. It just doesn't fit. And now you've got Well, you look at the media, you look at the kind of information that's being passed by the media.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take all the different medias of the United States and start looking to a family tree,
Mm-hmm.
they come up to a very small number at the top that control all of them.
Yeah,
and you
we've
wonder why
researched
you
all
only
that.
hear what one side wants to tell you. Oh, it's simple.
That's another reason why we're doing this, is because I think that there's this, what we're talking about right now is really important, you know, and people need to know that, you know, and not feel, and you know, just me talking to you has encouraged me, you know, so I don't feel quite as helpless, you know, as I did, because I know that there are people like you that are organizing something and getting something together, a plan of action together, you know, and it's just really encouraging to me, you know, especially talking to you about the Constitution stuff. I just love it. I dig it. You know, that's what.
I spent most of my life in a uniform, one uniform or another,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I wouldn't have gone to those countries to put my life on the line if I didn't believe in it. So.
Well, a lot of guys. My wife has an uncle in the army, and he's over. He's not in Iraq. I think he's in Korea right now. He's stationed over in Korea,
Yeah.
and you know, we sent him like some pocket constitutions and stuff, because he didn't even. You know, it's like nobody reads the Constitution anymore. It's.
Now, last time I saw a Constitution was probably back in high school. You know, and now some of the schools don't even teach our history.
Yeah.
So, you know, who are we? Where did we come from? How did we get here? How many people died for that flag and the beliefs behind it? Kids today don't have any concept, nor do they have any pride in this community or this country.
Mm-hmm. It's
You know,
kind of disassociation. That's what I was getting. There's like there's a disassociation,
absolutely.
you
And
know,
you
from
gotta-
our identity, you know,
and-
as a nation.
Yeah, and I would think that's by design. That's anecdotal. I can't prove that. But,
Well, I can see it because I remember when I was in elementary school, we used to say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag,
yeah,
and we used to say a prayer before
yeah.
class.
We did too. You know?
And by the time I was in the 6th grade, they took it out.
Yeah. And it's those
Yeah.
values that made this country.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden it's an unpopular thing, or it's not the political correct thing to do. To hell with that.
Mm-hmm.
We are what we are today because of what people did that preceded us.
That's right.
And I'm not ready to let that go away.
Mm-hmm. I saw this training video by I think it was the Federal Bureau of Investigations on Infowars.com, and they actually had a lecturer up there talking to these potential agents, and they're talking about they said who were the first terrorists in America. One guy raised his hand and said the Founding Fathers, and the guy said that's right.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was just like, I was astounded because I thought that, the British were the tyrannical, ones trying to impose their, tyranny on us.
Yeah.
So I just thought
And,
that was...
You kind of hit on something. The psyops that military engages
Mm-hmm.
truly can catch people off guard.
Mhm.
You can manipulate people's thinking. You can bring them under control.
Could you elaborate on that?
No.
Okay. That's some really interesting stuff. My wife and I have been researching that,
Yeah.
mind control and
Yeah.
the different programs. We believe that us being on that terrorist list, our organization is a COINTELPRO on our organization.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of brilliant people working behind the screens to take us in a direction I don't want to see us go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do what I can to protect the people of this community.
Amen. Well, I guess that'll wrap it up. I mean, I could talk to you for hours, honestly.
I put you to sleep.
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, this is our first interview, and I was just so excited, when you said that you would do that, because this is really important, and I feel kind of like this is a kind of ministry, almost. God's like kind of put that upon our hearts to do this, and
What guides me is do what's right and do the best you can.
that's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see where it gets us.
That's right. We're definitely going to see it. It's coming down.
Yeah. I like to say, don't hesitate to edit some of that stuff.